what I've got in store for you today. So we're going to cover essentially the step-by-step systems, processes, automations you need in your transformation fitness business in order to break through that very hands-on approach that you may have used in the past to work with clients to achieve transformations. And the benefit of doing that is as soon as you can move from texting everyone and emailing everyone and having 30-minute conversations with everyone, you can increase the volume, increase the size of your business, and ultimately pump out more of these transformations, which is essentially what grows your business. Gone are the days where a website just sits on the web, okay? If your website isn't smart, then you're leaving a lot of potential for your business on the table, potential in terms of people you're able to work with, results you're able to produce, money you're able to make. Okay. And the thing I think about when I think about money in business is money is just a scoreboard, and the more you have, the more value you are giving, because that's the only way to get it right. You have to provide value, and in the exchange of money is they're giving you something worth less than what they're getting back. So with that said, this isn't about convincing you why your business needs to make money. If you're someone who doesn't think your business needs to make money and that there's more important things, then you have your own set of hurdles to overcome. And one of those is focusing on the right things, because the lifeblood of a business is money. But in terms of having happy clients, you really do need to have a scoreboard, and money is the best scoreboard when it comes to delivering to happy clients and getting great results for them, because it shows that they're actually actively referring, and you're creating a name for yourself and a good brand. So with that said, let's go and dive into why a website doesn't just sit on the web anymore. It needs to be smart, and how to make it smart. So this is our sniper site. You've seen this in previous videos. I'm not going to spend too much time here. I'm just going to highlight to you that this website is essentially the top of funnel. So it is the first interaction with your business where a lot of people will come, but a lot will be filtered out. And the very nature of this is every day you might be getting 200 to 300 people visit your website. Only a very small percentage of those will be coming through, if any at all. If you've optimized your website, that percentage will be higher. I guarantee you are getting website hits. If you're not getting booked studio appointments every single week with at least 4 to 5 booked every single week, there's things that you need to optimize on your website. But that's enough of that for now. Let's dive into, say, a perimenopausal journey. So client hits the website, see perimenopause. Hey, I struggle with perimenopause. I want to do some strength training because I've been told I need to do strength training. This is what they hit. A very simple landing page that speaks to their problems, tells them that we have the solutions, but hey, you can't just book straight in with us. You've got to jump on the priority list. Now, if a calendar does pop up on the next page, then be quick, book in, because those spots usually go within hours. We are telling the truth the entire way through. We can only take 5 to 10 booked consultations each week, and our calendar reflects that. Okay, so sometimes people will come through and they will not get a calendar pop up, or the time slots will be unavailable, or they'll get it and it pops up and they'll be able to book straight in. That's the first opportunity for them to turn themselves into a website visitor, and then go from that to a lead. Right? This is what you want them to do. You want them to go through stages. Once they become a lead, this is what they'll get. So it's one thing creating a lead, but it's also another thing to nurture that lead. The reality is 100% of the people that come through are going to be in a buying decision, a stage of buying decision. Not all of them will be ready to go. Some of them will be contemplating, some of them will be just researching, some of them will be hyperactive. Estimates suggest that 3% of people are hyperactive buyers. Okay, the 97%, they're contemplating, so they know what they need to do, but they don't necessarily have the confidence to go for it yet, or they're educating themselves, so they're just looking around. And you want to appeal to all of those subsets. Now, this is a 30-day email series. I've spoken about this in earlier lessons, and what you'll see here is it's designed to be very reliable. Every day at 6 a.m., they'll get a little bit of a topic to think about, to learn about, to help them break through to the next stage of buying. So if they're just educating themselves, well, there's information in this email series to help direct them in the right direction of what strength training can do for them. If they're contemplating, they've seen a couple of different options for strength training, then we go into why our strength training methods are superior. And then if they're in that hyperactive buying mode and they haven't been able to book in, then this is just teasing them and making sure that they are being followed up with calls to action to book in for a strength assessment, as you can see here. And one of these emails down here has a call to action as a PS. So about every 3 days, they're being reminded, don't forget to book in for a strength assessment. So let's say they've booked a strength assessment. The next challenge that we'll need to face for them is to turn them into a showed appointment. Okay, so they've gone from being a lead, their mobile, their email, now they're going to be turned into someone who actually shows up in person, right? Now, if you're selling in person, then that is the best way to sell, is to do it in person. Phone calls on the website, they can work, but the highest conversion rate is actually getting someone to come in, see the place, feel the place, talk to a person. And here's how you do it. So immediately they are sent a how to find us email and a booking confirmation SMS. So it's all well and good having a phone number, but if you don't have anyone interacting with you through that phone number, they are a cold lead. So they're not a warm lead until they reply yes. Yes, I've booked this in, I am the right person, you have the right details. Once they've confirmed this, you need to move them along again by asking goals. Now, up until this stage, this is all automated and it happens within the first 5 minutes of them booking their consultation, which is crucial. Speed to lead is so important when it comes to getting buy-in from that other person. So if you get them to open up and talk about their goals and their problems, you're more likely to be able to solve them, right? If they don't reply yes, then they're reminded after 45 minutes, and then again after another 15 minutes. If they don't get back to you, then that session is cancelled. I've had people not prioritize replying, their session's cancelled, and they're like, oh my God, I'm sorry, can I rebook? Okay, you need to have strong boundaries in your business so that your time is valued. Because if you don't have any boundaries, leads, they will not value your time. So positioning is key. Here's a quick example of it live. So, hello, is it Shah? Yes, it's Shah. Great, well, we've got you. What are your goals, injuries, medical conditions, bad knees, unfit, coming out of 2 years of depression, 30 kilos. Okay. It's at this stage we send them an email and a case study that we've helped someone else with losing weight. We just do a simple tag system in our back end for that, and that just automatically goes out. We ask them which is the most important goal, okay? And then we also ask if they've done any type of strength training or worked with a personal trainer before, right? And once they've got that information, then we ask them, are you looking for the same kind of support? Sometimes they'll answer yes, sometimes they'll answer no, sometimes they can't answer, and I'll just leave it up to you. But this is a really good question to kind of get a sense of what they're willing to spend. Because if they say, look, I've done one-on-one personal training before, you know that they know what you'll charge for that type of service. So we've confirmed that appointment, and she's turning up today, actually, as I record this, she's actually in our gym. And she's going through this strength assessment right here. So a strength assessment is essentially creating a gap. It is very simply an opportunity for you to show them what strong really means and where they measure up. You do need to create a situation for them to feel weak so that they value strength. If strength is your main sell, if you're trying to sell something else, you need to think about what you need to show them, what they need to feel in that assessment to then prioritize what they actually want. Okay, so that's what we do here. You can go back and watch my other lessons if you want a bit more detail on how this whole strength assessment works. As we go through the process, a lot of people have fallen off. If you're selling well and your assessment's set up correctly, you should have a high conversion rate, and people should say yes to your membership. This is where the real work begins, because now you've got this person who's bought. Buyer's remorse is a really real thing. To remove buyer's remorse, you need to instill confidence, and the only way to instill confidence in someone is through education. And what we'll do over the first 7 days is send one email each day to help them learn more about our business and how we structure things so that they get the best result possible. We talk about our experience in delivering this system. We talk about all the different facets of the system we have in the gym. And over the first 7 days, within that first 7 days, they should know everything they need to know about making the most out of their membership. Whilst that is all happening, a trainer is delivering a introduction session. Okay. Now, if you have team, or you want to have team, or you just want to be better at what you do, if you're working on your own, you need to have a standard operating procedure. I know when I was working on my own, I used to do things off the top of my head, and that might be 1% different. If my emotions were a bit high that day, it might be 10% different, and I'd have different outcomes for different sessions. By having a checklist with all the different things that you need to do, essentially a script for that onboarding session, you can tweak and change things and make sure you are delivering at the highest quality for the highest percentage of these sessions. Okay, so we've got an intro session here, and then we move on to the 7th day SMS, 8th day SMS, 9th day SMS. These SMSs are just touch points within that first week to make sure everything's going well. If they don't reply, they get the next message until they reply. We only bug them about 3 times. If they don't get back to us after the 3rd, then we'll just say we're going to check in again soon. Soon is within the next 7 days. So within the first 14 days, these multiple touch points add up to helping you retain and create a high level experience so that they become long-term members. You're not going to be perfect, but you're going to solve a lot of problems down the track if you have these steps in place. Remember, everything you see on screen is automated. So by the 14th day, we're asking them, how are you going so far? What would you rate us? This is what we want to know. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And we want to know that before we send them a link to ask for a Google review. If they come back with 1, 2, or 3, we ask them how we can improve. And they never see a Google review link. If they reply 4 or 5, then we'll send them a review link. And it's as simple as that. And that's how you keep your reviews high when it comes to your Google review rating average. You want to have that as high as possible. And every time there's a 1 or a 2 or a 3 star, then if that goes unaddressed, then you risk getting a lower average. So you want to make sure you're addressing problems in your business before they turn into bad reviews. Cool. So that's the automation side of things. Let's talk about the delivery. Again, this goes back to having a checklist. If you want to operate at a high level and you're on your own, or you've got a team, or you want a team, having simple systems like laminated cards in your business that show the trainer or yourself how you set up for a particular session is crucial, because for client experience, if they're seeing 4 or 5 different people in the week, you want to make sure their experience is as close to 5 stars for every single one of those sessions. And by having this in place, you could really make sure that your trainers or your staff members are setting the space up right to make things flow, especially if this is a strength session. So what you can see here is there's a dumbbell rack in our gym, there's a lat pull down here, there's a cable machine here. If you've got 12 people in a session and they're running back to the dumbbell rack to get a 4 kilo and then go back to get a 7.5 kilo, and they're moving all over the place, and you times that by 6, and then again by 2, you've got 12 people running around everywhere, you have no flow, no systems. This single implementation in our business has absolutely transformed the quality of our strength sessions, our small group strength sessions, and has allowed us to deliver to 12 people at a time. We're pushing on to 16, which is really, really cool. Awesome. It's all about that scaling strength. If you look at every other fitness modality, it's CrossFit, F45. It's very much cardio-based, circuit-based stuff, not sets, reps, progressive overload, etc. So that's that. If you want something like this, let me know and I can send you this through. Cool. So we've automated the delivery of our sessions, and now what we're looking at is automating the process of milestones. There's a couple of different ways you can think of this. The first one for us is we want to make sure that they know they've got 12 months of programming planned out, and there's a focus for each of those 12-week blocks. They'll also need to know what to expect results-wise. And then we also want to give them that feeling of achievement well beyond or well before they see the physical changes. So we have 3 different levels: live, long, perform, and with these levels, they can see where they're at, they measure up, and it ties into that experience with the strength assessment. So they can take what they learned on the strength assessment, apply it in session, and that way every session becomes meaningful. I talked more about this in the second to last lesson from this lesson, so 2 lessons ago. I talked about this. Go back and watch that because that's how you increase customer lifetime value by getting them bought into a system that's much bigger than they initially thought, essentially. Milestones also come in workouts completed. So you've got your lead and lag measures. Leading measures are somebody who does 100 workouts or 200 workouts has a pretty low chance of not climbing those lag measures of the strength sessions that I showed you earlier. And we reward that. So everyone gets a 100 workout t-shirt when they've done 100 workouts, 200 workout t-shirt, 500, 750, 1000. Beautiful. And that brings me to the conclusion of this lesson. I hope that did provide a lot of value. This has been something we've built over a very long time. I'm really proud of it. And you might have something really close to this. You might have maybe 8 out of the 10 different things I've shown you today. If you want to implement the other 2, the things that really make things flow, I want you to just comment down below flow. You might DM me instead. Wherever you see this video, reach out to me somehow. And what I'll do is I'll assess your business systems. We'll look at what makes you unique. So rather than just drop my template onto you, look at what makes your business unique. Look at the gaps. See where we can make your website smarter, apply some automations. Maybe we need to increase turn up to your booked sessions, or maybe we just need to get more sessions booked. Whatever your obstacle is, there's something along this path that I've shown you in this video today that needs improving. If you want to improve that, I'm more than happy to go through your business as a free assessment and see what we can do to improve that really quickly so you can start seeing some ROI on your efforts. But once again, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll catch you on the next one.